How you doing there, gang?
All right, we got Coach Monken here, so questions for Coach. Charles Grievous, you want to start us off?
Yes. Good afternoon, good evening, Coach. I'm sorry. How are you doing?
Good, thanks.
Great. Hey, the atmosphere and vibe around the program, obviously your status with the program clearly makes one of a most unique black and gold spring game, if you will. Anyone and everyone who follows Army football knows that you were one of the finalists for the Kansas job. But that being said, can you talk a little bit about just, how you've been able to manage the process? Obviously, coaching the Black Knights, but also having a program like Kansas come after you as a possible candidate?
I think it's just a byproduct of success. And, frankly, it's not the first time another school has contacted me with interest in talking with me about their coaching position. And it just comes with the territory. When you read the internet, whenever there's a coaching change at a school that hasn't had success, and a school that maybe loses their coach because he was successful and he took another job, the names that are popping up aren't from programs that haven't been successful, haven't been consistently winning. So it's the same names, and it's just the nature of the business. So I just think of this cycle in the off season this past year and the year before, and it's the same names that come up. It's guys that have had success and guys that have taken programs that maybe weren't successful before and built them up into successful programs. And fortunately, I'm at a place where we've been able to do that, and that's all as a result of what our players have done and their effort and their hard work. So anytime good things happen for an individual in a football program, it's just a byproduct of team success.
Great. And allow me to shift gears to the game itself, if you will. Normally, we think of the Black and Gold Spring Game as an opportunity to preview the lineup for the coming season. But is it safe to say that at this juncture of where the Army football program is, it's more likely that you use this game to take a closer look at, some of the guys who will likely fill in the second and third and fourth levels of your depth chart?
This is one piece of it. I think the spring game is really for them to have some fun and be rewarded and enjoy just all the effort that they put in this spring to learn the plays and to get better. And we got a lot of guys that played a great number of plays tonight, and some played the entire game that have never played in a college football game, didn't play last fall in a college game. And so they really kind of learn what it's like, and the tempo and the demand, the physical demand, mentally what they have to be able to hold in terms of a playbook at their position, fundamentals and assignments, and add on special teams to that. And I think it's a really good evaluation tool for us to find out who really understands their job and the fundamentals that go along with it. And again, just have some fun. So we'll look at the film and evaluate it, but it's just one piece to the entire spring. And we told the guys we want to try to improve and get better tonight while we're enjoying running into each other and competing.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
Thanks, Charles.
Coach, just following up on Charles's question, was there any discussion with West Point of a contract extension for you?
Oh, that's not really anybody's business but mine and West Point's. And I've got a great job here. I work for great people. To have a superintendent like General Williams and a tremendous AD, I consider the best in the country. Mike Buddy's fantastic, and really enjoy working with them and for them, and so I got a great job, and there's not much else to say about that.
Okay. Just on tonight, obviously a chance for the depth at quarterback to get reps in and to show what they can do. Who stood out amongst the quarterbacks today?
I thought Maurice Ballon had a great scrimmage tonight. Now, we didn't have all of the guys wearing black jerseys or white jerseys where they were live. We really held the guys. Anybody that had started a football game for us at quarterback, we had in a red jersey, which was Tyre, Christian, Jamel, and Cade Ballard. And so all of those guys, and they did a good job. But it's hard to really turn it loose. I thought Jamel had a great run on a midline play. I thought Cade Ballard had a really good run on a midline play. They had some good throws. We had some errant throws. Threw it to him a couple of times, which was a little disappointing. But when you put on a jersey where you know you're a live player, you play at a little different speed. And I think that's what we saw Maurice doing. He just a playmaker, and was really excited about him and what he did tonight, and that last drive of the evening where he took the team down and scored. He had a nice long run and then had the touchdown to put the black team ahead. Was really pleased. But we've been seeing that all spring. That wasn't a surprise tonight. He's been making plays like that this spring for us.
Very good. Coach, may you want to talk about your offensive line? That's certainly an area you had to build this year. Connor Bishop at center, but you've got new players. How did you see the groupings work tonight?
We had the guys that are at the top of the depth chart on the black squad, and we did limit some guys, but I think Connor's really becoming an outstanding center for us. We moved some guys around. We moved Connor Finucane from guard to tackle. We moved Noah Knapp from center to guard. We're really just trying to work the guys that we feel like are our most experienced and perhaps our most productive players, so that we can get them into a grouping where all five of the maybe top guys are on the field at the same time. It was good to see on the other side some of those young guys getting some reps. Guys like David Hayward and guys like Jose Taveras, Aiden Gaines. And these are names nobody knows. They haven't played very much. Bo Lombardi. And there's some guys there that we're Dayton Ball, freshmen, trying to get them ready, and so hopefully they'll improve, and they'll be those guys that can provide that depth for us. But that first group, Booby Law and Dean Powell, I mean, those are all guys that have played in games, so we've got some experienced players we feel good about.
And on deep, go ahead, Sal.
Coach, when you see the reaction and the outpouring of support for you on, social media, is there a sense of pride for what you've accomplished at West Point, and maybe want to continue that where you're at?
I don't look at social media, so I wouldn't have any idea.
Gotcha. Have captains been named yet?
No, we'll do that next week. We're going to wait until next Friday. We're going to have a vote next Friday, and I'm excited about that. We've got some really good guys that are going to be on the ballot, and I'll be anxious to see who our team selects as the captains, and we'll also vote for the leadership council at that time too. So I think we find out not only who those guys are that everybody really respects as the leaders of the team, but in each class, who are the guys that stand out.
You had a couple of young defensive linemen make a play in the scrimmage today with Spencer Roy and Nate Lusk. How have they improved this spring, so to speak?
It's just fun to watch them play, and we've had a lot of young guys that have really worked hard and I think gotten better. Darius Richardson's a guy that's been around for a couple years. He's a year ahead of those guys, but I was really impressed with him. Very pleased with the spring that he had. I thought Isaiah Felici, who's a young guy, had a really good spring. And just some guys that are growing and maturing, and it's good to see, because eventually those guys at the very top, they're gonna graduate. Nolan Cockrell and Ryan Duran are both going into their senior year, and so knowing that those guys are going to be graduating, it's nice to see some young guys kind of sliding into the depth.
Any other questions? Take two more.
Coach just asked then about, We just heard from Nicholas Paul. We understand he had a nice interception. Seems very confident. How did he play tonight, and some of your other defensive players?
He made a really good play on that interception tonight. Almost returned it for a touchdown. Bo's a guy that I think's got a tremendous upside and really can be a good player. He's got some improving to do, as all of them do, but he plays very confident. He's got athletic ability, and if he'll keep working at it, I think he's got a chance to be a really good player.
Any final thought on special teams? Were there players today who just demonstrated through hustle or aggressiveness that they want to be able to earn playing time for the fall?
Zach Harding had a punt that about disappeared into the clouds. It was a great punt. It was, I think, in the book 64 yards, but I think it traveled about 70 all total. He just crushed it. I was really. I think he's a really good punter, and it didn't take tonight for us to think that. I think he's got a really strong leg and can be a weapon for us. I hope we don't have to use him much, but if we do, I think we got a really good player there. Brahim Murphy had a great return on a kickoff return tonight. I thought that was really positive. We had some guys. There's a guy, Markins Pierre, on our team, and he doesn't show up in the stat sheets very much, and he is just a really good special teams player. He puts a lot of effort into it. It means something to him. He knows that's a way that he can contribute to our football team, and we line up on the kickoff team, and he's not the fastest guy on the kickoff team, but always seems like he's the first guy down to the 30-yard line. Just plays so hard. So guys like that showing up on special teams, that's what I think is neat about this culture. Our guys find a way to contribute. Anything that they can do, and they are dying for a chance, any opportunity to help this team win. And special teams is an area where they can show up and do that.
Jeff, if you keep saying during the previous weeks that you still wanted to see improvement every day, and you weren't completely satisfied with where you were at camp. Okay, this is the last day. Would you say this was a good spring camp? And if this preseason were to start tomorrow, do you like where you're at?
It's a hard judgment. I think we got a long way to go. Tonight we fumbled the ball way too much. We threw 2 interceptions that were poor judgment throws. We had a lot of negative yardage plays on offense. Defensively, we gave up way too many big plays in the run game. We missed tackles. There's a lot of things we got to do a whole lot better. And so I'm going to be one that you're going to have a difficult time getting me to say I'm satisfied or I think we're in a good place. I think we got a long way to go. But there's been improvement. We're better than we were when we started this spring, and certainly having a spring practice this year benefits us. We didn't have a spring practice last year, and I think it is so important for this camp and this time of year to be able to develop the young depth and really find out about those young guys. So I think we did. I think we got some questions answered about a lot of guys.
Coach, did you get through healthy?
We did. I went in the training room as I do after every practice, and the place was a ghost town tonight. So they're either feeling pretty spry because they know spring camp is done, or we got out of it in pretty good shape. There was a couple of guys that went off the field tonight that were limping, that I know had some nicks and dings, but I think for the most part pretty good. There wasn't anything major that happened during the game, and that's a blessing. That we're very fortunate. I know a lot of spring games across the country that there's been guys that have had major injuries, and we've had them here in the spring game. We've had guys tear ACLs and things like that in the spring game, and that's just devastating when that happens. Unfortunately, we got through pretty clean tonight. Either that means we were fortunate, or we weren't playing very physical. I hope it's the former and not the latter.
Yeah, it's good to hear.
All right. Thanks,
Have a good
everybody.
night, everybody. We'll see you down
Thanks,
the road.
Coach.
Beating